You finished dinner?
Yes, just finished. Normally, my son has class this martial arts. So I come back, then have shower and then everything. But from but from today, I decided to have shower and finish everything and then take him to the class.
Mhm. How old is your son?
He's 13.
Oh, I have a big son.
Yeah. So his class is just half an hour, 7 to
Hmm.
half 7, but it is little bit far away.
Okay.
So there is no traffic. Still, it takes around 15 minutes
Mm.
nowadays.
And you have a daughter as well, isn't it?
Yeah, she's 7.
Oh.
I want her to join as well. This martial arts classes.
How much do we need to pay for the martial arts?
Oh my god, so expensive. £100 a month. Some people they do £60 a month, but he wanted to do and I desperately find and most of these classes were no more available due to this lockdown rules. So this guy started and he wants to make money. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what he did instead of 1 day a week, he made 2 days a week and double the
The
amount.
price.
I told him
Yeah.
just make 1 day a week,
He
but he
wants
want.
money.
Yeah, that's why. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, Brijesh.
Okay, let's disconnect the call and call back. Looks like
Yeah.
so that is an issue.
Brijesh, can you hear me?
Why it rings? You answered.
I don't know. Oh, it's in my phone.
Okay, so you're logged in two places. That's why. That might be causing. Now I hope you will be able to see the screen.
The screen didn't come up.
That's fine. Let's carry on.
Mhm.
Because you have the slides, yes?
Yeah.
So still it is fine. So today we will discuss the static techniques.
Hmm.
So what are the static techniques and what first let's understand what is static testing. So as we discussed yesterday, not yesterday, previously, testing the work product documents is static techniques, yes? So in this we do two techniques. If we review the documents, these processes are known as reviews. If we analyze the code, that process is known as static analysis. So, what is review? Reviews can be done manually, and this is done by people.
Hmm.
Static analysis is normally automated and is done by tools.
Hmm.
What is happening today? Oh, yes. So, what static means? What reviews and static analysis do? Reviews and static analysis they look for defects in work product documents. So, what are these work product documents? One is requirement. Yes,
Yeah.
requirement. In there you can have high level, low level design specification. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
high level and low level design specification. User story. Apex. Apex means high level conditions. You break it down into the story. So this is high level requirements, you can say.
Yeah, now I can
Source
see your
code.
screen.
Yeah, oh my god, it takes so much time.
Yeah, I can see the time. It's after 3 seconds, 3 minutes.
Oh, source code. Source code means the code itself. Yeah, you need
Mm-hmm.
to review the code and identify that there are no defects. And another thing is the person who wrote the code is following the company standards.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you end up writing n number of code and lines of code and everything is working, but
Yeah.
somebody will come and say no, you have not achieved this company standards, so you end up doing the other way. Yes. Test plans. So whatever test plans we are preparing, different levels of test plans, we need to review them. Test specification. What are the processes we have? Yes, testing processes. We need to review them. Test cases and scripts. So normally what happens, if you write manual test cases, that is known as test cases, and you script when you automate them, those scripts. But most of the time, some people they use scripts for the manual test cases as well. User guides. So what would be the manuals for the end user? So you need to review the user guides as well. Yes, and web pages. Whatever web pages we are going to build using the tool or the software, we need to review them because the design of the web page, the content of the web page should be correct. Yes, that's why we need to review them. Any question?
No. No.
What is static testing? Static testing is, you as you know, is reviewing the documents or testing the documents. So what are the objectives of static testing? Static testing finds causes of failures, means the error. What will cause failures? Yes, finds causes of failure. And this static testing finds these causes of failure early because you find the requirements issue. Yes, issue with the requirements, so it's early. Defect chip to fix best because, as for example, you are finding the requirements in the requirement phase itself. So you found and corrected it. So it costs less money. Yes. However, dynamic testing is opposite. It finds the failures. Why? Because we have implemented the code and the code is there on a form of application and we are executing it. Executing test cases, so we always find failures because the system does not work as per expectation. And these defects or failures are found late because we pass the requirement phase, we pass the analysis phase, everything phase is passed, development phase, and we release it, or it is in the building phase, you can say. So what happens? You spend so much time, that time is wasted, so you find them late. Yeah, and it is expensive to fix because as you find them late, you have to spend more time correcting them. If it is a requirement issue, then you go back again the requirement, and that's why it will be expensive to fix. What are the benefits of static testing? Early defect detection and correction, so you find them early and correct them. Development productivity improvements, so you find them early, and whatever you are passing, so you have a kind of first time right condition. Yes, so as a
Yeah.
result, what happened, the developers understand, the testers understand, and that's why the development productivity improvements are there. because the developers, they don't need to think about anything. Okay, this is the correct requirement. uh, what is they are building, they know. And that's why it improves, and they can build the tool quickly or the software quickly. Reduced development time skills. As I said, it takes less time in the development because you don't spend more time in building again and again, correcting error again and again. Reduce testing time and cost. If you find the failures in dynamic testing, then of course you are going to spend more time and it will cost more money. But now here in the requirement phase itself, you are correcting everything. Yes, so it saves time and money. Lifetime cost reductions. You find the defects early, so it takes less time in building, it takes less time in testing in future, so it overall cost reductions, fewer defects. As a result, what happen, you find less defects in the software. Improved communication. You have improved communication because at the requirement phase itself, you are making everything clear. There is no doubt, there is no ambiguity. Identify defects not easily found dynamically. And when you do dynamic testing, you won't identify this kind of defects you find using static testing. Any question?
Yeah, Brijesh.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example for static and dynamic? You said in static, it finds the causes of the failure. I mean, like, what will be the cause for the failure? Is it going to be the test case or some coding, or
So
it could be anything?
you are correct. It could be coding. So, as for example, I wrote code. What if there is an error in the code? Code itself is an example you give answer. Requirements. I want something. There was example, the gas meter in smart metering. The gas meter can move, no, can switch tariff once a day between four tariffs. Okay, this is a good example I am giving, explaining. Similar, I don't exactly remember the statement, but some similar statement was there. So the gas meter has four tariffs. We can have four tariffs with gas. Yes, four different tariffs. So when we analyze this requirement, we thought it can go, it can have one tariff a day, okay, and it can move to another the next day, okay. Same way it can go to the third next day, okay, third the other day, third day, yes, fourth tariff on fourth day. This was what our analysis, and we designed the test cases. Then
Mhm.
somebody came from the manufacturer and said, no, this is not the case. This sentence mean you can have four tariffs in a day because it is moving once. So there are four people there. You say that pass the ball once. So you can pass one time. So everybody will have the ball at least once. Yes. So considering similar scenario, we were told that you can have four TOUs, tariffs on gas meters a day. Then we change our test cases according to the advice. Then we identified some defects and raised. Then the same company came back to us. No, this is not the understanding. The understanding is the tariff can have only one tariff. If it wants the second tariff, then you can have the second day. One full day, 24 hours, can have only one tariff. It can't have four tariffs with gas. Yes. So this is an error with the requirements. So you find what is the error? Understanding error. So you make clear in the review itself. Yes. Your
Yep.
test case. Let's go to another example test case. The test case I wrote, or the test cases I wrote, it is my understanding of the requirement. I had the requirements, I analyze and design the test cases. But what if my understanding is incorrect? and nobody reviewed my test cases, I will say. So when at the time of execution somebody looks at and they will find out, or the person will find out, oh, the test cases were written incorrectly. So when you review the test cases, this is the static techniques, okay? We review the test cases, you will identify errors. What are the mistakes I have made? And you will ask me to correct. That is reviews. Yes, it find causes. So these are the mistakes, these are the errors are going to cause the failures. And what are the failures itself? Now we understood this requirement and built that requirement in the software. Because of what happens, the software fails. When the software fails, it's a failure. 2 plus 2 equal to 5. The calculator gave the answer 2 plus 2 equal to 5 is a failure. You can still call it defect, but it's a failure because the software is there. So that is dynamic testing, what it does, and what static testing. Any other question?
Yeah, in normal day-to-day life, like for the for a company where you're working, do you normally do the static testing or dynamic testing? Which one
Every
is
day,
most widely used?
every day you need to do it. This
Which
is
is
part.
widely used?
Both of them equal.
Okay,
Why I tell
so
you?
because
See,
it depends on the scenario we want to
yes,
take
no.
it.
I work in an agile, yes, agile project. So when you have use agile methodologies, we call it something like called tech refinement. Okay. In tech refinements, what happens? I tell you. So we have the requirements. The business owners and the business analyst, they will come to us with requirements. These requirements we are going to build during the certain sprint. Yes. So they will be selected. What should be the requirement? So in this tech refinement meeting, you can say the business owner or the business analyst will explain and we will discuss as a team what does this requirement mean. Yes, when you have the tech refinement you have less three amigos session. What is three? Okay, let's go to the detail about tech refinement. So you select one requirement, requirement one. That requirement one is explained in detail with high level and low level design in tech refinement discussed. Okay, that is a review, you can call it. Now if the tech refinement is not clear in this phase, what happens in this scenario? When the developer starts developing or when the developer picks the particular requirement, this developer will invite tester, team manager, and other people in a meeting called three amigos. So this is a terminology, okay? Three amigo, but this is the review session. In this, the developer will explain what he understands or what is the understanding of the requirement. Yes, he or she understands of the requirement. As a tester, you can raise a question like, how will I test this requirement? What does it mean? Yes. So these two phases, they are the review phases. Now the developer is building it. It built already. Yes, the developer has built this requirement in the code. Now when the person writes the code, developer writes the code, another developer will go through the code line by line. Okay, that is static testing with static analysis, you can say. If the most of the time tools are used, so you can say static analysis. So this is part of static testing. Now you are a tester. Yes, as a tester this requirement comes to you, the developer has built it, so you will execute your test cases. So when you execute the test cases, it becomes dynamic testing. Clear?
Hmm.
So in 2 weeks time, sprint time, these tech refinement sessions take place once a week, sometimes twice a week, but you say once a week. So in the sprint, you have two tech refinement sessions When you have tech refinement session, you have less three amigos, but as many requirements are there, there should be that many three amigos sessions. Yes. Code, this is when the code is review ready, or the developer or tester will pick it up for the code review. When it is built and test ready, it comes for the dynamic testing and you actually execute the code and test the requirement. Any other question?
No.
Okay, let's go. So what are the typical defects you find by static testing? Requirements defects. So you find out the defects in the requirements. Inconsistencies. The requirements are not consistent. They stated one thing at one place and another thing at another place. Yes. Ambiguities. Any requirement with dual meaning. Contradictions. The same author has wrote two different statements at two different places, but they are contradictory. Yes. As for example, there are saying about the speaking, silence is best, and sometimes you can't keep silent. You need to speak. Yes. Contradictory
Yeah.
statements. Omissions. Sometimes you omit something in the statement in the requirement. You need to mention it, but you might have forgotten it. Inaccuracies. The requirements are inaccurate. They are not exactly what you expect. Yes. Redundancy. Some of the requirements are redundant. They just wrote it, but it makes no sense. It can be eliminated. Yes. You don't need them. Redundance. Design defects. Inefficient algorithms or database structures. How the database structures would be? Yes, algorithms for the design, they are inefficient. High coupling or low cohesions. Yes, so these are the defects in the design phase you can find. Coding defects. As for example, there are quite a few variables with undefined values. You are using variables, but you are not defining the values. Variables are declared but never used. You are declaring some of the variables, but you are not using them. Yes. Unreachable code. You have wrote the code, but that code is not reached. Never ever executed. It's just lying somewhere there. Unused code, like yeah, duplicate code. The same code over and over you are using. Duplicates. Once you wrote the code, that can be standard final. You don't write the same code over and over again. You find this kind of defects. Deviations from standards, lack of adherence to coding standards. So the company has its own coding standards. Yes, the manager will tell you this is what approach we have used and this is how we are going to write our code. So this one you can say lack of adherence to coding standards. Some new person will come and the person might have used different, totally different coding standards. So if we review the code, we can find out coding standard has not been followed. Incorrect interface specifications. How these two systems will be integrated, it is incorrect. So yeah, incorrect interface specifications. Different units of measurement used by the calling system than by the call system. Yes. So as for example, you are integrating two systems and there is an inconsistency there. You can say like that. Security vulnerabilities. Your code might be vulnerable. Security threats might be there. Gaps or inaccuracies in the test basis traceability or coverage. There are gaps in the traceability or coverage. As for example, you might have missed some of the requirements. There are test cases there, but they are not mapped. There are requirements there, but they are not mapped. Yes. So you find gaps or inaccuracies in test basis traceability or coverage. That is missing test for an acceptance criteria. So some test cases are there you might not have met or you might not have designed test cases for certain level. The same thing will come and we will discuss later on in the bot, later sections of this static testing. Okay, these defects, variables, coding standards, and everything. So let's go to the reviews. There are four types of reviews. from informal review to formal reviews. What are these? One is informal review, another is walkthrough, third is technical review, four is inspection. From left to right, you go, the formality of these reviews become formal. Yes. So what are these degrees? Maturity of the development process. How you use the reviews are important. It indicates how mature is the development process. Legal requirements. Doing reviews are sometimes legal requirements. Regulatory requirements. Government body makes it compulsory to review and build the software. Yes. Need for an audit trail. These reviews are important so that you can maintain the audit trail. So when the audit is required, what are the processes you have done? What are the reviews you have done? This all should be documented so you can provide this information. Any question?
No.
Let's go to the informal reviews. What are the characteristics of informal? There is no formal process with the informal review. Yes, no formal process performed by a colleague. These reviews are performed by the same category colleague. So you do and I. So you will review my test cases as for example. Yeah. Results may be documented. If you want to document the results, you can document. Otherwise, it is not required. May not involve the meeting. In this, there might not be meeting. But if you want to do meeting, you can do it. But if you do it, that becomes formal kind of. Yes. Varies in usefulness depending on reviewers. It is useful, but this usefulness depends on the reviewers, how experienced reviewers are, how experienced the testers are. Yes, based on that, as for example, you are new and I am new. We both, if I review your test cases and you review my test cases, will it make more difference? No. But you have 20 years experience and I have 1 year experience. If I design the test cases and if you have to review my test cases,
Mhm.
then what will happen?
There might be some errors.
Yes, you will find more problems, issues, errors with my
Mhm.
test cases, whatever it is. Yes, commonly used in agile, and these reviews are commonly used in agile method. So this is what we do. It no, this tech refinement session, three amigo session. They are informal kind of review. We have meetings. We don't document, but we can still document it. And what is the main purpose of this informal review? The main purpose of the informal review is to find potential defects, and it also helps to resolve some small issues we have. We can is resolve them quickly because we find them at the requirement phase itself. We find them early. Any question?
No.
Let's go to the next one. Walkthrough. Walkthrough is also a type of review. Sometimes you listen to some of the testers, and when they okay, let me walk through the reviews. Not let me walk through the requirements. I will walk through the requirements. This kind of terminologies they use. But they are using, they are just walking through the requirements, reviewing the requirements. So in walkthroughs, what happens? A meeting led by author. There will be an author there who wrote the requirement or who wrote the test cases. The author will lead the meeting. May take form of dry run scenarios. So what happens in this? It's a dry run is a development process. So the author will walk you through the scenarios the author has prepared. Individual preparation optional. So what happens in this? Before you attend the meeting, before you attend the meeting, you will be given some homework. You will be provided the task you need to complete them. Yes, it is optional, but you will be given informed first. So in tech refinement session, we can say, okay, we have the requirements before that, so we can go through first. So we can ask as many questions as possible. checklist optional. What requirements are covered, what scenarios are covered, what are the mandatory points you need to make checklist, but this is optional. If you want, you can do it. Scribe mandatory. The person who makes note or the person who takes the notes of the meeting is mandatory. Scribe means the person who takes the note. Okay.
Mhm.
Potential defect logs and reports optional. So if you want to prepare defect log or report, you can do it. It's optional. So if you don't want to, you don't do it. May vary from informal to formal. So if see say optional, if this optional, if you make it mandatory, then it will be very formal, yes. But if you don't do this thing as a part of process, if it is optional, you can just get rid of this. Then it will be informal walkthroughs, yes, informal review process. What is the main purpose of this one? Finding defects and improving product, because you are going through the requirements in detail, so it helps you to find the defects one way and improve the product, because you can say at this stage what exactly product you want to build, yes.
Yeah.
Alternative implementations and evaluate standards. So how you want to implement and evaluate standards is the main purpose. What the kind of standards you want to keep in your organizations, and how you want to implement your testing processes. They are all part of the purpose of this walkthrough process. Any question?
No.
Technical review. Technical review is more formal than the first two. Optional meeting, ideally led by trained moderator. Moderator is not an author. Yes, a trained person will lead the meetings. It can be a manager, it can be anyone. Yes, but the person who leads the meeting is known as moderator. Pre-meeting preparation by reviewers. Who is going to take part in the meeting? They are given piece of work to complete before they attend the meeting. That's why pre-meeting preparation by reviewers. You need to do it. Then and then you can raise more and more questions. Yes. Optional use of checklist. Whatever agendas you have for the meeting, that is optional, but you can still make it mandatory and use it. Produces defect logs and review report. At the end of that, you have the log. How many defects did you find? And you need to provide the report so the stakeholders can see. They can have the information about the review's progress. Scribe mandatory. The person who takes the note is mandatory because you had a meeting, so somebody has to there to read out the agenda, and somebody should be there to make the notes. Yes, includes peers and technical experts. Who can be the reviewers? Peers means same category people. Testers means testers. Developers means developer, your team, and some technical experts. So you might have some specialist expert, SME, subject matter experts to take part in the review process. So you have more information. Yes,
Yeah.
what is the main purpose? Discussing and making decisions. When you walk through, not walk through, when you review the requirements as a technical review, part of technical review, you discuss them and make decisions. Means correct the requirements, how you can implement the approach. There might be the test plan. Yes, evaluating of alternatives. What are the options you have? Alternatives available. There can be thousand ways of doing the same thing. Yes, and it is definitely the same thing in the development. You can do exactly the same thing for thousand ways. So you can all review these alternatives, how many alternatives are available and what would be the best for you. Finding defects always be one of the purpose. Yes, solving technical problems and checking conformance. So if you have any technical problems, then you can discuss them, solve them, and check they are resolved. The last review is called inspection. This is the most formal review type. Everything is documented. That is nothing like optional in this scenario. Yes. A meeting led by trained moderator. A trained person will lead this meeting. Mandatory scribe. The person who takes note is a mandatory. We have to have the minute taker. Pre-meeting preparation by reviewers. We have to do the pre-meetings preparation. We will be given the piece of work. We have to prepare and attend the meeting so we can share our ideas, we can share our thoughts, and we can give our input. Uses checklists and rules. Whatever agendas we have to checklist. We have to make sure they are covered, and there are rules to follow to cover them. Author cannot act as the review leader, reader, or scribe. The author should not perform the role of these three. Author should be a separate person, yeah. Usually a peer examination. The same category people get involved and do this review. Define roles. Before you take part in the inspection, you will be given some roles and responsibility. What you are and what you are going to do. That's why defined roles. You just can't attend the meeting and say okay yes, you have what to do and how to do. Includes matrix gathering and reports. At the end of the inspection, you need to prepare the matrix. How many defects did you find? How many requirements did you discuss? Yes.
Yeah.
And you need to prepare reports. Uses entry and criteria. Uses entry and exit criteria. Before you start the inspection, you need to have the entry criteria. These are the conditions you will start, and exit criteria. These are the conditions when you meet, you will complete, you will come out of the inspection. Yes. What are the standard entry criteria? Anything. The code is available. Yes. The requirement is available. Simple. So this chapter will discuss them as well. Follows defined processes. In order to do the inspection, we have to have a standard process. We can't just walk through and just these are, we have the agenda and we have to go step by step. So in the same manner, the process is there. We have to follow the process of inspection. Optional reader. The person who reads out can be optional, but most of the time we will have a reader who reads out the agendas and the requirements list. Yeah. What is the main purpose of inspection? To find the defects, and another is like prevent future defects. So when you do thorough analysis of any requirement, you do thorough analysis of the test cases, you thorough analysis of the design, the structure of the application, then you know that in future you will be able to prevent the defects. Any question?
No.
So uses entry and exit criteria. There is, I think, if this chapter doesn't cover this, it will be in the next chapter. We will have standard entry criteria for all levels. Okay, so we will discuss them later as well. So general comments about this walkthrough technical reviews and inspections are they can all be peer reviews. It's the same category people, the testers mean testers, they do this walkthroughs, technical reviews and inspections. Team members they perform. There is no management activity, that means. Yes. What are the activities of a formal review? In the first phase, you need to plan the review. Yes. Without planning, nothing is possible. So you need to plan is what you are going to do, how you are going to do, what are the roles and responsibilities. You just gather 20 people together. Can you do it? No. That won't that will be meaningless. Meaningless, yeah. And that's why we have to plan first. Initiate review. After planning, you need to initiate it. So you need to start it. Individual review. Individual review should be done based on the processes and roles and responsibilities assigned. Issue communication and analysis. Then all the reviewers should be communicated. Yes. what should be done and how we are going to do. And accordingly, we analyze the requirements, test cases, whatever we have selected, the piece of work, piece of product, you can say. Then, if we find any defects or anything, we need to inform each and everyone. This is the defect, and this is how we are going to fix. What are the decisions we have made in the reviews? Then fix them means the follow process done, and report to the stakeholders. Any question with this?
No.
How you can apply the review? You can apply review as ad hoc, temporary basis. For certain requirements you want to do it, you can do it. For certain requirements you don't want to do it, you don't do it. Checklist based. What are the agendas you need to cover? So it can be checklist based, yes. Scenario based and dry run. So what are the requirements you have for the development phase? What you need to do? In that you have to have the scenarios whenever you have the high level requirements, you need to break down them into the small scenarios so you can test them. Each and every aspect of the test, or each and every aspect of the requirement should be tested. If you miss one bit, then what happens? You might have missed a defect, so we have to there. And what is dry run is a process. So in this process you can find the failure. So this is the requirement itself. You have the scenarios or you have the code. So you review the code, you review the requirements. That is known as dry runs. Yes. In that you can find out what are the failures you are going to face or possible failures. When you find them, you need to correct them. Yes. Why you use this dry runs kind of terminology, even though it is similar kind of review process? Yes, because it's a specialized term when you are building some kind of some pilot projects you have for the aerospace industry. In this you actually execute this and do it, execute, do the execution of the code. Yes, do the execution of the process and find the failures. So as for example, you perform some kind of act and find it. This kind of activity is called dry run. So it is kind of a review. Techniques applied through individual preparation activity. For individual preparation activities, we need to apply this kind of activities. Any question?
No.
Role based techniques. So here in reviews, what happens? Each and every individual should be given role. As for example, you are a tester. Tester is your position, but it cannot be a role. Yes. When everybody is getting together to review your test cases as an inspection, then you are the author. You are performing the role of an author. Yes. If the manager is not there, the moderator is not there, and say, okay, you do this one and you will walk through everything. Walk through means you will lead the meeting. So you will be performing the role of a moderator. Perspective based. What are your perspective? What is your perception of the requirement? Yes, that is important. Whenever I say something or when I write something, that is my understanding of the requirement. When
Mhm.
you do, this is your understanding of the requirement. This is known as perspective based. Yes,
Yeah.
let's go to the next one. Typical formal review roles. What are the roles we can have in this review process. One is author. Who is author? The person who writes or the person who produces the document is the author. So you are a tester, but when you write test cases, you are the author. If you have prepared some other document, then you will be the author. Yes. Review leader, who, when, where, who can do this one. Scribe or recorder, the person who takes the note in the meeting is called scribe or recorder. Like documents, issues, problems, open points. So this person makes a note of literally everything. Is a scribe or recorder. Manager determines the review type. The management role, you, if you are the in charge, then you can decide. Yes. So then you will be a manager at this stage. So the manager decides what review will be selected and we are going to do the review. What type of review? Informal, walkthrough, inspection, means technical review or inspection. The manager decides. Plans the review. The manager plans the review. When to start, stop, means entry criteria, exit criteria, assign the roles and responsibilities, allocates time, and the manager gives you time, allocates the time. Determines if review objectives are met. This manager determines whatever objectives he set for the specific review are met. Facilitator, ensure effective running. This person is a role of facilitator. You can be a facilitator, okay, even though you are a tester. It is your responsibility to ensure everything runs smoothly. There is no issue. You are the in charge. Mediates. You mediate between people. Success depends on them. Yes. And the facilitator is the key role. If the leader is no good, then the whole reviews are unsuccessful. Reviewer or inspector checks documents. So you are now reviewer. So you will check the documents and identify defects. When you are given a piece of code to review, when you are given a piece of document, piece of requirement to review, you will review. Then you will be a reviewer. You will always be a reviewer when you are a tester, yes. But in the meeting, you are given a, if when you wrote your test cases, design the test cases, and they are reviewed, then you are an author. In the other way, in the agenda, if you are given, you will make a note of literally everything, then you are a scribe or recorder. Yes. If the manager is off and you are given the role, then you will be a manager. Any question?
No.
Organizational success factor. So, how you can make this review successful? It is not that you have used and these reviews will always be successful. Yes. How you use it important, and this is how you can make it successful. So each review has clear defined objectives. So in order to make the review successful, you need to set objectives for each and every review. Review type suitable to objectives. Based on the objectives you set, you need to select the review. Yes. Any review techniques used, what review technique used, such as checklist based or role based reviewing, are suitable for effective defect identification in the work product to be reviewed. What review type you are using based on the what means checklist based or role based, it will help you to identify defects in the work product. Checklist address risks and are up to date. So as for example, you have agenda checklist. As for example, you apply for a job or not job, some application form. As for example, visa. Then there's a list of documents you have to send. Yes. So that is your checklist. You need to make sure. Okay, you have checked it. So in the same manner, what are the agendas you have, objectives you have? You need to check, make them. Yes. Participants have adequate preparation time. Each and every participant should be given time so that they can prepare for the review. As for example, you have the review at 2 o'clock, and at half one you are given the documents, then it won't be correct. Yes.
Mhm.
So the adequate enough time should be given. So you can review, you can prepare, and you can go and give your input. Large documents reviewed into chunks. If the documents are big, large, then you have to break down into small pieces and review. Otherwise, it won't make sense. That's why I say something. When you do review or when you analyze the requirement, you need to go word by word. Normally, we have a saying called read between the lines. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
read between the lines is not important in testing. We have to read between the words. Each and every word should be given weightage and review. So we can say, okay, there is no ambiguity. That's just straightforward. Reviews schedule with notice. Each and every individual taking part in the review should be given some notice. You can't say that okay at half one say okay let 2 o'clock we should review or do this review process. Yes, no. Each and every individual should be given notice so they come prepared and you can get best out of them. Management support for proper reviews. The management should support this review process. If they think this review is waste of time, then what happens? The product won't be a quality product. That's why the management has to support the review process. Any question with this one?
No.
So we stop it here to
Okay.
only few slides left for this chapter 4, but slide number 17 is quick, but 18 I have to explain literally everything one by one. Even though these examples are given, I might use, but each and every will take some time to explain. Okay.
Okay.
So before you test management is there. Yes. Next chapter.
Mm-hmm.
In the next chapter, we will discuss all entry and exit criteria.
Okay.
Because if I explain it there now, uh, it won't be that much in detail, and that's why I didn't. I just skip through. But if you go through slide number 12, 13, 14, 15 is the correct typical entry criteria. Typical entry criteria. So from 15 to end of this, and it's a very big chapter with 43 slides. Okay. So this we will discuss in detail there. If you have any question, you can ask.
No.
But you don't need to worry too much about this.
Okay.
Uh,